Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of Heroes of the Storm. Today we're playing some Malganis. Reason being, I'm kind of in the mood to play a little bit of tank today. And Malganis is a very fun tank and very like sturdy, I'd say. This video is mainly just going to be a general gist of how to play tank. And we're playing Malganis on top of it. Or at least how I play Malganis. So, we're going to jump into a quick match game. Because unfortunately Storm League queues are a little too long. But a little update on the channel right now. So I have been working very late shifts, and this weekend was the only time I was able to record or sit down and play Heroes of the Storm, and I just didn't record ranked duo to Grandmaster games because Purge and mine schedules don't line up. There's like a 5-hour time difference between us. So it was like whenever I was getting on, he was getting off, and then whenever he was getting on, I was getting off, and it just didn't work out this weekend. So if we are a little bit behind on the ranked duo to Grandmaster series, just know that we're not done with it, but I do apologize that we're a little bit behind. But that's enough chit chat. We're going to jump into the game and hopefully have some fun. Alright, we find ourselves on the Tower of Doom today. Now, whenever I look at tanks, I typically categorize them in like 3 categories. So there's an offensive tank, a defensive tank, and a hybrid tank that does a little bit of both. I'd say Malganis is leaning more towards the defensive side of a tank, where his main goal is to peel for his allies rather than set up kills. Now, we still can set up kills, but we're much better at peeling for my allies. So he's a little bit of a hybrid tank, but definitely very good at defensive abilities. Now, that means we're going to do very good versus the Illidan and the Tyrael, but very bad against the Stukov and Hammer, just due to their abilities. So, really just looking to peel for our allies. We have a Raynor, Kira, Raynor, Kira, and Mephisto. So our damage will be very, very good. As long as I can keep my allies alive. Now, Stukov's silence is going to be a big pain for me. We're going to go ahead out here and sleep a bunch of these enemy heroes to help set up my allies there a little bit. And try to get out of the Tyrael explosion, which we were barely able to do. Now we have to go down here in the bottom lane and start soaking. Even as the tank, you have to soak. It's just how you win the video game is by soaking. Gotta go and sleep this hero. Hoping for some allies to rotate down. Does look like Jimmy's coming here. We'll ping our abilities cooldowns. I'll actually engage first so I get boot back rather than Jimmy. And we were actually able to land the stun there, and Jimmy's able to finish the kill. Very nice. Now you notice if I look at these enemy heroes up here in the top lane, or the mid lane, they'll have a little vampiric symbol below their name tag. I'm just trying to scout for the friendly team right now. Yeah, you'll see this hero will have a little vampiric symbol that just appeared. That symbol is my level 1 talent. It's called Time to Feed. Gonna go to mount up here to dodge the Tyrael's explosion and rotate mid to help out the friendly team. Check this camp though, make sure the enemies aren't on it. Yeah, they're not, so we'll rotate in here. But Time to Feed. Oh, that cancels it. That sucks. It'll allow me to heal every time I deal damage to an enemy that has that little vampiric symbol underneath their name. Might be able to pick up a kill there. Very nicely done by our friendly Kira. Yeah, Stukov silence is going to be a huge pain in the butt for me. I'm going to go ahead and base here, just because the friendly team has been doing a fantastic job. I'm not in the push. Fantastic job of soaking, and I didn't want to tap, or I didn't have tap up. And objective's coming up, so I want to be healthy for objective. Nice kill there on the hammer. We're going to pick up Fueled by Torment. It's just my personal favorite pick. Honestly, I'm not very keen with... You're going to go ahead and press E here. And there's the peel capabilities of this hero that I was talking about earlier. His E is a super, super good peeling ability. We'll go ahead and pick up this soak, getting us close to level 7, but not quite enough. Looks like Kira got that covered. Enemy team's probably on their camp, so we'll ping danger for the allies and pick up the soak that's crashing here in mid lane. On this map, you want to be taking this objective, you give this objective, and then you fight over this one. Reason being, this objective is very well defended by the respected team. I'm going to come in here. Hopefully Raynor can stall it. Looks like he got one stall off. Now I'm just going to have to pray that the friendly team comes. Doesn't look like we're going to get them. So we're just going to go ahead in here, sleep them a little bit, and pray that they come, because we're currently going to get capped all the way right now if it continues in the direction that it's going. Anduin pull, he said ping if I need the pull. I did ping, but he must not have had it off cooldown yet. Trying to stun the Illidan underneath our tower, and there's a nice sleep. Sleeping also resets the cooldown of our level 1 talent. Our level 1 talent has a 6-second cooldown by default, but if an enemy gets slept, it resets it. And Fueled by Torment, what it does is we heal more. We heal for like 15. We get a 15 heal every time that we take damage. All right, here we go. Big play. She has too much movement speed. Gonna go ahead and peel for my ally here. Sleep these enemies so our Raynor can walk right on out of there. But as we get a 15 heal every time we take damage while we have the armor buff of our level. Oh, big sleeps. I'm sorry. I'll explain this in a second here. Trying to just peel for my allies in this team fight. That's the big thing we're looking for, is keeping the Sergeant Hammer and the backline contained so that my friendly team can pop off and deal a bunch of damage to the red team. We were able to pick up a double kill there, and once again, I don't have Sippy Cup up. An objective will probably be spawning soon, so just basing, getting a quick reset will be fine. So I'll be healthy for objective, as well as having my tap up for the objective. We also have Spreading Plague at level 7. So our E now does like a little bit of poison damage that spreads to enemies who have been slept. This gives us wave clear. That's the big reason I pick it, is for the wave clear. Once again, same thing as always, peeling for my backline here by sleeping Illidans and things such as that. Might even be able to kill the Illidan, not quite. But peeling for the backline and making sure that they are nice and healthy. You can see also, we have a decent damage number. We're going to ping around our way here. Maybe be able to get something out there on the Orphea. Did unfortunately get hit by the massive Stukov silence, but we finally got an objective cap. Making this game, once again, an even game. But level 4, yeah, I think I explained that. Anytime that we have armor from our W ability. Posting up here, by the way, just so the enemy team can't rotate without having to fight me first, so they can't hit my friendly Mephisto. Uh-oh, I'm in a tight spot now. I used too many spells at a bad time. Don't really like fighting under the Sergeant Hammer, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm gonna try to sleep her out of her abilities and pick up a nice kill. Now, unfortunately, I did kind of leave my backline all alone. I think I stunned the Illidan out of his leap, but we did lose our Anduin. I do have Sippy Cup up, but I don't know if it's worth it. I also have my R, which might be the more beneficial thing to use here. Yeah, you can see I got a big heal off of that. We'll go ahead and sleep a bunch of these enemies. Pick up a nice double stun on the Illidan and the Stukov, but Stukov uses a nice R ability to hunt down the rest of the enemy team. I'm going to go to mount up just to ensure he doesn't get out, and honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my E for the nice wave clear. It's not an insane amount of wave clear, but for a tank, it's good. And we're going to go ahead and base here. 20 seconds on the objective, so we'll be coming in just as the objective's spawning, by the looks of things. Not get full mana, just because we want to make sure we're at this objective fight when it does spawn. But it's looking very well so far. Level 10, you saw my ultimate ability. It was called Dark Conversion. So after 3/4 of a second of channeling, you swap health percentages with an enemy hero, just one. Oh, good stall by Hammer, I guess. Coming in there and blocking damage for my allies. Getting good damage out there on the Orphea too, and we're able to pick up another beautiful kill. Going to make sure that our Mephisto doesn't get wrecked too hard here. And it's just trying to stick by my allies, make sure that they're going to be fine. Anduin can heal them up, as well as Raynor has a nice self-heal. Mephisto at 13 has a little bit of self-healing he can do. Stukov Silence is going to come out here any second now, so we're going to go to make sure we get sleep out and ready to stop that, which we were able to do just fine. And once again, Stukov having to use a disengage ability. Now, I do kind of want to scout this camp, so I thought Illidan might have been on it, but I did leave my team alone for a moment by doing that. When you're playing tank, make sure you're picking up all the regen globes in the map. That'll help keep your healer at high mana, as well as everybody else on your team, but mainly your healer. So your healer can... Oh, gonna go ahead and immediately press my peel abilities. And I think I'm fine. Yeah, good pull by Anduin. Really good pull by him. I queued up my sleep, though, to try and sleep a bunch of them, and I only hit Illidan, I think it was. Gonna go out here and try to sleep the hammer. I wanted to get the Tyrael too, but we weren't quite able to. Now fighting in this whole enemy team could be a bad play by me. Gonna go ahead out there and heal off of the Tyrael, but unfortunately the heal wasn't fast enough. As that heal, like I mentioned before, the heal takes 3 seconds to kick in. So the enemy, you press R, it swaps HP percentages, and then for 3 seconds, it's you have like a giant heal bar, and the enemy has a giant brown bar for poison. You can see, though, as the tank, we have pretty decent damage, and our peels have been very well this game. Unfortunately, Kira wasn't there for that fight, and it was a pretty bad engagement on my part. I think I was the one that engaged there, but that's what happens sometimes. Hopefully, Anduin can get a stall out if he comes right here and throws something, but it might be a little too difficult to get it. That's all right, though. I agree. Retreating here is the right play. Enemy team might go for boss. I kind of hope they do because I think we could steal it. So we're going to go ahead and just check it real quick here. All right, good. They're not. Look for a pick here in mid lane. If Kira comes and lands her abilities, then Orphea dies. But it looks like the enemy team's just going to walk away. Illidan's probably on that camp, and if I see he's there, I need to be there as the tank. So I'm going to go ahead, try to mount up, but I keep getting dismounted by the minions here. Go ahead out there with, once again, nice sleeps to peel for my allies. Big stun on the rest of the enemy team there. Light Bomb came out on me at a beautiful timing, too, so we could pick up a kill on the Illidan. Enemy team, I think it was probably Hammer, capped that top camp by the looks of things, which is unfortunate. She's going to get really good push, and I don't think I can stick around and help the Mephisto. I think I have to be in the top lane to stall out this push between Hammer, Stukov, and I'd imagine Tyrael's on his way too. Just ping for assistance there. I'm just going to do everything that I can in my power to stop these guys. But I doubt I'll be able to stop them. Yeah, as you can see there. I went for Deep Sleep at level 13. Once again, picking up any regen globes that I can. We'll just let this crash in. There'll be no problem there. We actually got a couple shots off, so that was worth. We traded buildings, and we got shots off. I'm going to ping that I'm on my way here. I look like Hammer just used her W ability, so she won't have it to stop my engagement here. And we're going to go ahead and hit him with a nice sleep out there on both Stukov and the Hammer. That's 2 massive kills as the 3-way objective is spawning. And if the friendly team wants to come in here, fighting is not a problem. But my level... Oh. Alright, gonna go ahead. Sleep as many of them as I can. Try to stun Orphea, which came out at a beautiful timing as her ult did, so it canceled her ultimate. And I'm just going to... Oh yeah, it looks like Kira will get ours. No way Orphea re-engages here. If she does, I'll have the stun ready. Hiding behind the vision. Very nice. Boss is not a bad play here. Taking buildings is a better play in my personal opinion. But my team does such good boss damage that this is totally fine. Enemy team is respawning now. So I'm going to post up in the bush as the tank player and stop them if they were to come. They didn't though, so that's fine. I would like to go down bottom to defend that building, but I think we're too late by the looks of things. And you can see as Malganis, as the tank, our wave clear is not, like, terrible. For a tank, it's not terrible. Diablo could not clear that nearly as fast as we just did. Trying to find out where the enemy team is, give my team intel, is a big thing that tanks do. And make sure that they don't get rotated on. So right here is a spooky spot with all the bushes. So I want to make sure that I could escort my allies through there just fine. This Mephisto's face checking the bush, which could have ended very poorly for him. Nice pickup there on the Orphea, and we're gonna make sure that our Kira doesn't die by spamming your Q into a wall as Mephisto. You can actually get them to go out faster. Hopefully we still get this kid. Nicely done. Objectives are now spawning. Does look like the enemy team will be back up for the objective, except for Hammer. Hammer will not, actually. So that's good. I went for Plague Bats at 16. One keep in GG. Oh, yeah, he's got a point there. Hopefully these camps will be able to get a keep. This bottom one's the one we're looking for. Mephisto's also looking for a pick. A pick now would be very nice. I'm going to go ahead and use my E for the wave clear. And like we said, we're trying to get this building. It does look like the siege camps will take it with the help of Rainer too. And I like Die Alone, or Alone in the Dark is what it's called. Does look like that will be the video game though, so we'll just go in YOLO, and a little dance party will finish us off. I'm going to go ahead and explain the build that we went. You can see, though, our damage, pretty good. You know, better than all of the enemy team except for Orphea. And keep in mind, we're a tank that had excellent self-healing, as well as peels, and we were just able to control the fight much better than the Tyrael was. You can see that's a long stun time. Well played by the whole team. I think everyone played well on our part. I'll go ahead and explain the build. I didn't do a fantastic job of explaining the build this game, but that's okay because I was trying to go over positioning and some tips and tricks for the tank rule. But we'll explain the build now. So at level 1, you pick up Time to Feed. This just helps with your self-sustain. The other talents there are still pretty good, but Time to Feed is my pick 100% of the time. Fueled by Torment. This is really good if you're going up against Tychus, Diva, Zarya, Tassadar, Tracers, things who attack you fast. Because you're going to heal for like just as much damage as they deal. It's a fantastic pickup here, which is still good against heroes who don't attack fast. I love this, but you could argue for other talents at this tier. Level 7, I go for Spreading Plague. Like I mentioned before, it's kind of underwhelming. The other two talents are really good at this tier, so you could swap it out. But the Wave Clear is what does it for me, because when you're playing Malganis, when you're playing tank, sometimes you don't get a comp that can Wave Clear. And if that's the case, like let's say you queue up for Storm League, your last pick tank, and you have no wave clear. Malganis is a decent option because you can now set up kills, you can play as a fantastic defensive tank, and you can also wave clear for the team a little bit. Dark Conversion, I like this over the other alt for the simple reason that this cooldown is lower. They're both good alts and they both do the same purpose. They save you as a tank. That's all that the other alt does, is it saves you as a tank. This saves you as a tank as well. Just I can spam this out 40 seconds sooner than I can spam the other one. So that's why I go for Dark Conversion. Deep Sleep, I didn't mention it in the game or like say how it works, but it increases the duration of my E, as well as I gain more movement speed so I can catch enemies more, which combos really well later into the game with our later talent. At level 16, you can swap this out, but Plague Bats is my personal favorite. So what it does is you press W, and it sends out these bats that deal damage. And this scale, it says 81 damage at level 1, but this scales so well. It's absolutely amazing how much damage. It surprises you how much damage it can deal. And at level 20, Alone in the Dark. So it reduces the cooldown of our E by 4 seconds. Now, enemy heroes that are put to sleep by my E have their vision reduced like as if they were hit by isolation for 2 seconds after, which can win you team fights without you even really realizing it. You don't realize the value you get from this talent until you've played against this talent. And then, as I mentioned, as you can see, this whole build is hearted. I have it all queued up already, and this is the build I go in like 100% of my games. But the fluctuation points, I would say, is Will of Tychondrius is pretty freaking good. So that one's good if you need a little more sustain instead of the wave clear. Carrion Swarm, like I said, is very good if you have to block Pyroblasts, triple taps, things like that. But Dark Conversion, the damage it deals, it just, and its short cooldown puts it over the top for me. Deep Sleep is what I pick up most of the time. Okay, here, at level 16, Blind as a Bat is, when comboed, especially with Will of Tychondrius, is it's like having another ultimate ability. It's so good, but it's kind of hard to land and very inconsistent. That's why Plague Bats is better in my opinion. It's just more consistent. But Blind as a Bat, we used to. Whenever I lived at my mom and dad's house, my brothers and I had our computers lined up next to each other, and we'd play Heroes of the Storm, and we'd pick Malganis and pick this talent, Blind as a Bat, and I'd just look over at my brother's screens, which is technically cheating, but I'd look over at my brother's screen, and he obviously saw where I was, and I could control my hero by just looking at his monitor instead, which was really funny, and we set up some pretty fun combos with it before. And then at 20, they're all good. Alone in the Dark, though, I would say is probably the best choice. But if you want to go for the sick highlight reels, go for this talent, the alt upgrade. Oh, it's so much fun. But anyways, that was Malganis and kind of how to play tank, or the rough gist of it. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as even every little bit helps. And I really do enjoy interacting with you guys as a community. So please comment especially. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.